Good morning. I'm Rose Picard. This is Godly Play for the Sunday of Pentecost. This is the mystery of Pentecost. Kind of looks like a parable box, except it's red. Do you think there's a parable inside? Let's open it and see. It doesn't look like a normal parable. This is all we have to begin with. There was once a great tower. Everyone working on the tower spoke the same language. They spoke as they worked together. But as the tower grew taller and taller, they began to speak in different ways. They wanted the tower to reach the heavens. They grew so proud of themselves that they began to think that they were greater builders than even God. Each group thought it was better than any of the others. A huge noise replaced their talking. It made no sense. Everyone was babbling. Soon, the tower fell down by itself, so it was called the Tower of Babel. The language of the people of the earth was shattered and broke into pieces. Each one was beautiful, but it was only a piece of the old way of talking together. Thousands of years passed. Jesus was born and lived, did his work, and then died on the cross. But that was not the end of the story, because somehow he was still with the people around him, as he is with us. They kept seeing him, and they couldn't let him go. Then one day, something amazing happened. The disciples were in Jerusalem. It was Matthew, James, Simon Peter, Jude, Bartholomew, Philip, Thomas, Simon the Zealot, Andrew, James the Less, and John. Jesus took them outside of Jerusalem to a mountain nearby called Olivet. Jesus then went up, and the Holy Spirit would come down. The 11 disciples came back to Jerusalem. They came back into the city to wait. They were full of joy and went to the temple to pray. Then they went to the upper room and with God's help decided that Matthias would take Judas's place. On Sunday, the 12 were together again. Suddenly there was a sound like a mighty wind rushing in to be with them. It was the Holy Spirit. They became so full of its power that they seemed to be on fire. Their tongues burned in their mouths, and they ran down into the street to tell their story. They were so excited that people wondered what was going on. There were people there from many different countries. They spoke many different languages, but everyone could understand what they were saying. Everyone could see that the 12 had come close to God, and God had come close to them in a new way. The disciples had become apostles. They went out into the world to tell the story of Jesus and God's love. That was the first Christian Pentecost. But that is not the end of the story, because if it is still happening wherever people have the courage and power to tell the story, Pentecost is still happening. It is like fire. I wonder what part of the story you like best. I wonder if we could leave any part of this story out and it'd still be the same. I wonder what the most important part of the story could be. I wonder if there's anything in our church or in your room that reminds you of this. Thank you for joining me for Godly Play. Have a blessed week.